Hello, welcome to another video using some feature JavaScript and also some feature of programming. We're going to be learning about how to use the ternary operator for multiple level of decision making, just like when we use it with if, else if, else if, else. If we have, let's say, 100 condition, normally when we use the normal or selection, which is the if block, we start with the first condition as if, then 98 of those going to be tested with else if, and the last one is going to be defaulted to else. Very similar to the ternary operators. The only difference is really the syntax and how we go about it. So let's assume I'm starting here a function. Of course, this is not part of any object. It's a function independent from anything, just to demonstrate for you the use of ternary operator. So assume that I have an array, and these are going to make it simple just to focus on the ideas. This is going to be the array sales, and this is the number. We could actually start with two things maybe. The name of the customers, and I'm going to go ahead and name them just very simple name, like with letter, like A, make it short, B, C, and D, and let's go ahead and do another one like E. So these are the name of the customers, and this is the sales that they did with our company. So this is the sales, and also we're going to initialize that array instead of reading it. So let's go ahead and say this is bought like $100 worth, this is 200, this is a 300, this is 150, and this is $40. So now we have 5 data for the customers and 5 sales. That should remind us of the parallel arrays and how to know how to access this maybe in one loop if we want to access both of the pieces of data in both arrays. Anyway, the focus here again, one more time on the ternary operator. So let's go ahead and have a plan. The plan here, I'm going to test if the sales is greater than or equal, let's say, than 90. We're going to give that person a discount of 10%. If it's between 80 up to 90, we're going to give them 8% discount. If it's between 70 up to 80, we're going to give them 6% discount. If it's between 60 up to 70, the sales, we're going to give them, let's say, 4% discount. Anything else is going to be defaulted to 4% discount. So how are we going to do this? First of all, since I have an array and of data, so ironically, I mean, it's the best thing there is to access so many items in that array is to use a loop. So I'm going to go ahead and say var I, and I'm going to say here for I, start with 0, as long as I is less than the length. Of course, I need to get the name of either one, customers or sale, the length, because they're parallel. And as long as this is true, then we're going to go ahead and say I++ to move on that along all the elements in the array. And we're going to go ahead and do my ternary operators. So I could go ahead and say var discount, okay? But let's go ahead and do, actually, we could go ahead and declare that right here just to get it outside the loop. So out of this code, so I'm going to say here discounts. So I'm going to have an array of discounts, and we're going to go ahead and actually declare it as an array, so potential array discounts. And I'm going to go ahead and put the S here. I'm taking my time with this, so you'll be able to follow every step along the way. So now discount, see, each one of those people in the array will have its own discounts. So we're going to go ahead and say, okay, how the calculation for the discount. Instead of saying if the sales is greater than 90, it's going to be 10%. Of course, we're going to go ahead and say between two parentheses just to make it more readable. I'm going to say sales I is less than 90. I mean greater than 90 You want to include the 90 in it, which is good to go ahead and say greater than or equal to 90. Now we have close the parentheses, we have the question mark. What is this question mark? It tells me if the sales happens to be greater than or equal to 90, which is a true, then you do whatever follows after the question mark. So in this case, we agreed that the discount for that specific value is going to be 10%. Otherwise, or else, this is, we're not done if we're really having 10% versus any other discount, then we're done. But we have more to test. We want to test if the sales with the I is going to be also, if it's not greater than or equal to 90, it has to be tested if it's going to be greater than 80. If that is the case, another question mark, which is going to give me the 8%. Otherwise, we're going to continue with another test, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste because I don't want to really spend so much time, especially typing errors. So let's go ahead and do this, but we'll go ahead and change it. So, and this is going to be 70. And if that is the case, so we're going to go ahead and do another assignment to the discount for that specific iteration, which is going to be 6%, 6%. Otherwise, or else, we're going to continue to test. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, change this to 60. If that is the case, then we're going to go ahead and do the 4%, and almost I'm done. Otherwise, if none of the above or before is true, it should be defaulted to, let's say, 2%. Okay, so here we go. If you notice here, we're going to go ahead and say if the sales is greater than or equal to 90, then assign the 10% discount and get out of it. Otherwise, you have to continue to test if the sales for that value is greater than or equal to 80. If that's true, give them the 80%. Otherwise, if that is not true, you're going to continue to test if the sales for that specific value within the array is greater than or equal to 70, give them 6%. If that is not true, you continue to do that to test if the sales is greater than or equal to 60, then you're going to give them 4%. If none of the above is going to default to 2%, which means this is really the else, the last else. This is the else if, this is the else if, this is the else if. Let's go ahead and test this. And this way I could go ahead and close this, and I could go ahead and get another loop. I'm going to say here 4, and I'm going to say sometimes here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, this is basically the same exact number of iteration. And I'm going to go ahead and go get the, get the inside the body of the loop. And here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and say documents dot write, and we're going to write here the customers. I'm going to go ahead and say customers with I, okay, with I plus purchase the amount of, let's put the $sign here, and that's going to be sales I, okay, plus we're going to go ahead and say space here, therefore their discount, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into really percentage sign so people sees it. It's going to be the discounts, okay, discounts with that specific items in the array. It's going to multiply it by 100, and let's go down here since it's outside, multiply by 100 plus I'm going to go ahead and break this also in here so you could see it just in case recorder is not showing it to you. And let's go ahead and put that, make it really interesting. And of course, we could put that uh, percentage symbols at the end of each because we multiply the discount by 100. So it will show 10% instead of 0.10. That's the whole purpose from it, in case you got lost. So we'll see here customer A is going to purchase this amount of sale, and therefore their discount is, and of course we're going to take the discount from the array discounts, multiply for that by 100 just to show it like a real percentage rather than, like point something. So I'm going to go ahead and save this and run it. And we're going to go ahead and test this really quickly and see if it's going to run unless there is a syntactical error. Okay. We'll continue. There is a syntactical error. I'm going to go ahead and examine it, and we're going to see what's going on, and we'll continue. All right, we will continue to look at these, and obviously I have somehow mistyped the sales. Be here, should be sales. That's the autofill sometimes. It makes it load. If you make a mistake, it keep it or use a variable from previous editing or programming, it's going to really keep that. That's basically true for that aspect. And the other one here is there's two parentheses. We have to be careful. I need to have this very important, even though it's sometimes not required, but to put a semicolon at the end of a statement. The most problem in this here, I do need to call a function, which is called using ternary operator, which is, I'm assuming that I called it somewhere, but I didn't change the name of it. So we have to change this to ternary, using ternary operators with the parentheses. Without calling the function, I will not activate any of the code that I wrote. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. Hopefully, if there's any mistakes, we'll continue to figure it out together. And it's good to do everything in real time, so I'll be able to see if we have the same situation, we'll be able to go through it. So make sure this one here, another one that I've overlooked, it should be a bracket. So let's continue together with this, just like you would have. Here we go. We have those. Of course, I could easily make it bigger for you to see the result. It could be much nicer if we were able to really put that into, table format. But let's go ahead and chain those just to make sure any changes would be reflected. If I say here 90, this is, let's say 10, should get the lower one. As we say here 300, leave it. It's going to go, let's say 67, just to make sure that we are able to test the different results here. Okay, let's go ahead and see here 50 or 50 is going to be okay. Here we go. And save the changes and run it. And we're going to go ahead and see, of course, different result. Everything is in real time. We could go ahead and make it much better looking by the using of the alignment here, and the alignment for the dollar general, or for the dollar format rather. And we wanted to be able to make sure that everything is going to look. The whole purpose from this is to go ahead and take a look at this one more time. So this is a whole array. It's going to be each discount is going to be calculated based on the corresponding sales in the array sales. And again, if this is a true, then this is the action is going to take. Otherwise, we're going to go through this, which is the else, which is another, instead of saying it else, it should be else if. We're going to test if the sale is greater than or equal to 80. Then it's going to be the 8% and we get out of it. Then I'm going to go through this one here, and we'll see if the sales is greater than or equal to 70. We'll get the 6%. If that is not true, we're going to go to the else if sales with the index, in this case, depending on what iteration we are on it. So far is 0. The first iteration with index 0, greater than or equal to 60, we'll get the 4%. And else, which is the loss possibility, is 0.02. I hope this helped. And the only thing is to do is to practice this. I'm taking my time through every little step, so hopefully I did a good job trying to show you the whole process without missing anything. Don't worry about it. If you get some syntactical error, that's not the most difficult things to correct. worries about the logic, which also like this one here, even though it was a syntactical error, but it was also logical error because I'm not calling the function with the name, with the right name. So I was calling it a whole different function that doesn't even exist. It did exist in the previous program, and that's the price of cutting and copying, pasting, or copying and pasting. Thank you for watching. Hopefully to see you in the next video. Take care.